Assalamu alaikum everyone, hope you all are well. Today I am going to teach you the course Studio Design 3, and the topic which I will cover today is about carrying one piece of fabric as far as possible without cutting. Basically studio designs, all the courses of studio designs in textile design or in fashion design, or maybe sometimes we talk about fusion of these fields. Whenever we talk about studios, that means experimentation of different materials, experimentation with different mediums. So in this lecture you will learn that how you can treat your fabric even without giving a simple cut. You are having almost 5 or 6 meters of fabric. It can be any material, like it can be some silk material or material which is having some drapes and flowy material. So what we have to do, we have to make different folds, we have to create different drapes with that fabric, and development of that fabric into a garment form without cutting it and without wasting, just by giving different folds, tucks and darts together. So by using different techniques of folding or draping, we can use this fabric in a garment form. And the main objective of teaching this topic is basically you will learn that how you can treat a fabric which is having patterns, maybe having geometrical patterns or floral patterns, a fabric which is having some checks or plates in it. Sometimes we used to have check material with floral material. So this is very important being a textile and fashion designer, because these two fields always go side by side. Whenever we talk about textile designing, of course, we have to go side by side with fashion designing as well. So a fashion designer should have always a complete knowledge about textile patterns, materials and surfaces, then the mediums how they are going to use and incorporate in their garments. And in the same way, a textile designer should be having a complete knowledge that what will be the end use of that fabric which he or she is going to produce. Maybe sometimes we used to add these type of folds and drapes in one piece garments, or sometimes we used to add in different cut lines. So this is very important for both fields, that how you will treat your fabric, how you can treat your fabric even without giving a cut line. So the basic idea is draping a piece of fabric on a mannequin without cutting as far as possible to produce an evening gown or a sundress or a draped blouse without too many seams. You are going to create a garment when you are having a lot of pattern on your fabric. So you have to keep in mind that you are how you will use this fabric, how you will treat with that fabric. Whenever you have to give different seams, when we talk about some lap seams, French seams or overcasting seams, whenever we talk about these seams, and when we have to merge these seams with some dark lines, with sometimes some gathers or pleats, so you have to be careful about using the patterned fabric or the fabric which is having different floral patterns or some geometrical patterns, or sometimes we used to have some lines on the fabric. So you will be having a clear idea after this lecture that how you can use or how you can manipulate a fabric by using different darts, cut lines, and without using your scissors, without clipping it or without snipping your fabric. These are a few images in which you can see that there is a fabric of almost 5 meters, or sometimes we used to give 6 to 7 meters. This is a fabric they have draped on one mannequin in a way that it is giving a look of some drapes like in a sari we used to give. Then in second picture you can see that it's giving just a cowl, sort of cowl neckline by using different folds together. In third picture you can see that there is again a cut line which has been developed coming from the back side going to the shoulder, and they have tagged it at shoulder, but there is no cut line, there is no snipping or clipping in these pictures. Then again the next is they have created two different ideas. The one is about bodice. They have created some folds on bust line by using different bulges together, and in next you can see that there is a armhole which has been developed by giving a sort of a cowl with a fabric, and with the plain fabric you can use, even you can go with patterned fabric, but these type of drapes which you have to create, it's better to use your plain fabric. In next picture you can see that they have just wrapped the fabric on the mannequin in just like a shawl sort of style. So in next picture you can see that the fabric is giving folds and drapes in a way that it is behaving like a skirt. Then again a cowl neckline, maybe a cowl sleeve or some other sleeve. Then they have created some folds, wraps over front part of the body by, as we can join the body's block with the skirt, or sometimes we used to give some torso folds and cut lines. So in this picture you can see that they have just given simple folds to their fabric. In next you can see that they have divided the body into two different parts, just like a W they have divided it. It's again a cut line. In last picture, which is very interesting picture, in that you can see very interesting and very challenging folds of the fabric, which are coming in sort of pleating material. They are coming from your shoulder line and dripping towards the floor. So these are few examples by which you can consider that how you can use your plain fabric into form of a garment without even giving clips and without snipping them. Basically in any garment, whenever we used to drape a material, a fabric into a garment, we consider the continuity, maybe rhythm, because rhythm is basically movement of eye. Whenever we are watching from one direction to another direction, our eye should move in a continuous way. So the rhythm and smooth flows of lines are fundamental to a good design. Then one piece draping appears to be very simple, but requires most careful kind of planning to avoid obvious seams while training a smooth fit. Whenever we talk about a garment which is not having a lot of seam lines, but there should be a proper drapable folds on that garment, which can give it an interesting look and which can create a different folds. As in the picture you can see that there are many folds which are going from the waistline to the back side of the waistline, and they are just creating simple cowls from and connecting the front line from back side. So this is a very interesting example of creating a one piece gown without even giving cut lines and without even snipping, by just giving some variations of seams. So such designs have unbroken rhythm and an effect of uncluttered simplicity, because they avoid the usual cross lines at the waistlines and yoke. In this line there is a continuity from bust line going to the back, so we can't say that they have used any different lines or cuts for these garments. Then a hidden seam along the waistline simplifies the cutting. Whenever you have to give a simple seam on the waistline of your garment, it gives a look of complete front or body's block of your design, the upper torso of your design, and it saves material and let us place and grain more advantageously, because whenever we have to give these seam lines are connecting lines from upper part of the body to the lower part of the body. So we used to give at sometimes from maybe from 10 inches to 11 inches on our center front lines. Sometimes we used to give at our bust lines, then between bust lines and waist lines, and sometimes on waist lines. Even in different cut lines we are having below waist lines as well. So these are the dividing lines basically, which used to attach the upper part of the body with the lower part of the body and lower part of their garment basically. Then these are few examples in which you can see that they have created different folds by giving just ruffling a fabric together, and then they have given different folds on the upper part of the bodies by using sometimes we used to have a wire in our materials. This material is basically organza chiffon material, and hard tissue can be used for creating these types of folds. In the third picture you can see that is a simple wrap around the body, and a belt is showing exactly the covering of your waistline and division of your waistline from your hip line. Designing from a detail. Whenever you have to design, you have to choose a basic idea, basic theme or inspiration for your design. That what is the basic idea for creating any piece of garment, or for whenever a textile designer has to create a design on the fabric, he or she should be having idea, complete consideration that what will be the end use and product of that fabric. So choosing a detail to use it as a source of inspiration to create an original design by stimulating our imagination. Whenever we see a picture, we perceive some ideas. Sometimes we take inspirations from nature, sometimes we take inspirations from sea tides. Maybe a verse can be an inspiration for creating a design, or for creating a surface in textile designing, and for creating a garment from that textile print. So it depends that how you are going to use your inspirations. Sometimes we used to take different civilizations in our inspirations. Fusion of two different civilizations. Maybe some patterns we used to take from one civilization and cut lines from the other civilization, and we used to fuse them together. So this is totally depends on the designer, but try to explore different ideas. Try to make experimentation with your ideas. In this picture you can see that this is a basic theme or inspiration from a flower, and they have given just different folds, maybe some ruffles, or you can see exactly the horizontal folds and vertical folds. Horizontal folds they have given on upper torso of the garment, and then on the skirt they have given the vertical folds, and a belt is just tying these folds, and it is a dividing line between your torso and between your skirt. There is no limit in the ways ideas could be adapted. You can adapt your ideas by using any kind of inspiration, by creating any type of inspirations. Sometimes we can have millions of ideas by cultivating the habit of seeing possibilities in everything we observe. Then silhouettes is the fundamental unit to keep in mind, and the detail that does not harmonize with the silhouette should never be used to matter how good it is in itself. Whenever you are giving a silhouette outline, basically silhouette is the outline of your garment, the outline of your exact shape of your garment, which you are giving from starting from your shoulder point to your bust line, then to your waistline, hip line, and the hemline. So this is how in this you can see that there is a connection between that shoe and that garment. They have just tried to create a connection of those checks, those shapes they have used, then colors they have used. So you can embed many ideas to create your designs. Almost all designs proceed by transforming, combining and adapting elements of previous designs, as well as elements and aspects of other objects, images and phenomena. Everything can be a source of inspiration for a designer. Whenever we talk about textile designers, fashion designers, interior designers, we used to say that a designer can take inspiration or can perceive ideas from a theme, even from a single petal, even from a single word, or sometimes maybe from a single letter. Whenever you are scribbling on some paper, you are writing something on your paper, or maybe you are creating some designs on your paper, the new idea, always you'll see that new ideas are coming to you. So try to create your images, try to create your patterns, layouts while combining the motifs together, or whenever you are using these fabrics into different cut lines or in garment form, try to consider that what would be the inspiration, what was the background for creating that design or for creating that particular garment. Then these are few examples of handbags, as they have given that this is a sunflower and that sunflower is wrapping. This is just a folded sunflower. It's giving a look of folded sunflower, and this is a beautiful idea as they have perceived from floral patterns and directly from original flower to converting it into a handbag. Then in next you can see that we can create shoes by having ideas from butterflies. They have given the butterfly on the upper part of the shoe as well, and they have created the heel part of the exact of that shoe with creating some metallic butterflies. And then you can see that we can have jewelry patterns in our watches, or in our even we can take ideas from jewelry patterns for creating our textile prints, or even in our fashion garments. Then you can see that we can create different types of shawls by using different geometrical patterns, or maybe some they have used some circular shapes with squares and rectangles. So this is just the idea that how you can embed and how you can incorporate different types of shapes together to create these types of shawls. Then they have given one hat. That hat is giving a sheery look, and that sheer look they have created just by using net material, or you can create these type of hats with organza materials, and that sheer effect is giving they have given just one flower. That flower is molded into a wire, and it is giving a look, a natural look to that hat. Then we can have different belts. We can use different techniques on belts, or we can use different maybe sometimes we use some painting techniques, maybe sometimes we use some printing techniques, or embellishment of different surfaces, embroidery techniques on our belts or accessories. So then in next picture you can see the cap, then hair accessories. So these are just few ideas that how you will perceive, how you will conceive an idea and manipulate that idea according to your mind, according to your brain, and you will create a perfect design. Because after I do believe that after experimentation, and especially at your age, when you are at the age of experimentation, so this is better to do different types of experiments, do explore new ideas, because whenever you will go in some brand and you are working with some brand, so there you have to work with some limitations. Every brand is having their own limitations and boundaries. So try to perceive ideas and try to explore new ideas and do experimentation with your designs. Then we have different types of straps, buckles, you can create different folds, pleats, gathers, buttons. These were few examples I have given you about creation of your garment by using some fabric, or I have shown you few pictures in which I have tried to teach you that how you can create your folds, pleats and darts, and even you can use one-piece garments by using almost 5 to 6 meters of fabric, even without clipping it or without snipping it. So you can use different inspirations for these type of garments, for textile designing, for fashion designing. They both go side by side. A textile designer should be having a complete knowledge of a garment, that for which purpose they are going to create that particular design. A fashion designer should be having knowledge that the fabric which they are going to use in some product, in some garment. So they should be clear that whenever they are using some check materials or line materials for creating some gowns or jackets, so those lines will go together. So they'll be having exact idea of grain, and in the same way warp and weft, the warp direction and weft direction of your fabrics. So basically this was all about the usage of materials and fabric without clipping them, and you try to use different folds and pleats, darts in your garments. Then I have teach you that how you can create different designs through inspirations, how you can perceive ideas from different inspirations. Hope you have understood all that. Still, if you'll be having some questions, do ask me on your WhatsApp groups or do inbox me. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz. Stay safe.